Hello Patreon supporters and welcome to the monthly Q&A. We're not really getting enough questions to do a monthly one, and also I just had a really busy year and I got poorly recently, so that sort of took me out of action for the last couple of weeks. But I'm back, committed to making some sick content for you Patreon donators, because obviously it's a really important thing. You are kind enough to give us your money, so we need to give you some decent content. So this is the Q&A for basically March. I've only got 2 questions, so if you want to ask more, leave them in the post here, or I'll do another post. You can put them in there, whatever you want. You can ask some really deep questions if you want, because we're not getting many. It means we can spend more time to actually answer them. So, on that note, first question we got is from Nathan. It's how did you and the guys meet originally? I'm going to assume that you're talking about me and Gossy and Nate, the Fruck Buddies, as the main and sort of most common presenter. A most common presenting trio on the channel. So, I met Gossy through a comic book store in Chesham. We both used to frequent there quite frequently, and it was very much a sort of social place. I spent a hell of a lot of time there. Not only did I work there on Saturdays, so I had sort of I did think 10 till 4, something like that. So I worked there for a little bit on Saturdays, But apart from that, we were there a hell of a lot of time because it was such a social place to hang out. You would go there after school, spend half an hour there, whatever. And also I used to play HeroClix, which was like a miniatures game with like superheroes. And we used to have HeroClix Club on Tuesdays. And we'd also sometimes just play it at the store, just every so often. So we were there a lot, which meant that Gossy was there less so than me, but it meant that I did see him in there. And also he played HeroClix for a small amount of time as well. So we sort of got to know each other through that. But we were both pretty young, it's fair to say. And then growing up, him and I had sort of like friends on Facebook, had sort of like a mutual appreciation for each other's humour, sort of spoke a lot on Facebook, all that kind of thing. And just saw each other around. We also both went to the same college. That sort of gave us another link, and it meant that we bumped into each other sometimes. Actually, I went to work in Aylesbury and he went to college in Aylesbury at the same time. So actually, when I was at college, I don't think he was actually at college yet. But then I worked in Aylesbury and he went to college in Aylesbury. So that kind of thing, blah, 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 blah. And just always was like, we were always just super friendly for guys who were sort of very loose friends. Then Nate met Gossy through work, through their workplace system work, where they worked, and I basically met or started engaging with Nate through Gossy's Facebook posts. Gossy had always been, and it has always been, one of my favourite sort of Facebook people. He's very funny, original, comes up with great concepts, great ideas, great posts, blah blah blah. Really good at social media, and I always appreciate that in people. And another thing that I really appreciate in people as well is when strangers are friendly and you can have banter with strangers, which is exactly what happened between Nate and I. Clearly we had the same sense of humour, and we literally just hit it off in Gossy's statuses, and then we added each other as friends through that. Hadn't even met each other yet, and it literally just blossomed from there. And it got to the point where Nate and I were full-on friends and hadn't even met each other. And I think that's such a cool thing about the internet, social media and all that kind of thing. And then we met up for the first time as a threesome, did a load of videos, and the rest is history. Just literally our friendship has grown stronger from then, and it's a really amazing sort of thing, really cool. And this is also from Nathan, what inspired you to start the channel? I've told this story a number of times, but I think it's a pretty cool story. I was in Tesco. I remember exactly where I was when I thought of the idea. I was in Tesco. I saw Skittles milkshake on the shelf, and at this point I had always loved just new food, seeing limited edition flavours, all that kind of thing. It was just one of these things that I really loved. Saw Skittles milkshake on the shelf and I was like, oh, that sounds weird. I wonder what it's like. So I searched YouTube for it, and at this stage I was sort of very sort of vacantly aware of food reviewing on YouTube. I knew there was a couple of really big American food reviewers. So I searched Skittles milkshake in YouTube. No results. Couldn't find anything. And I thought that was mental. I really thought that was so strange and weird that the biggest video site in the world, like this is what, like the second biggest search engine. You've got Google and then you've got YouTube. And I couldn't find a review of Skittles milkshake. This crazy product, which obviously anyone would see it and would probably buy it straight away because it's so mental, one of these really strange mental things. Anyone who has like a passing interest in junk food basically would surely be interested in that. And I couldn't find a single review. I thought it'd be flooded with reviews on there. And I was like, what? And I thought, surely the main food review channel in the UK have done it. I wonder what they're called. They're probably called like Food Review UK or something. So I searched Food Review UK, nothing comes up. I'm like, what? So I think I got home, did a little bit more research, couldn't find any food review channels basically. There were a few people reviewing food, but very sort of not dedicated to food or anything like that, and they just had like their, they know, like Bob or whatever, they just had their names as a channel. They weren't branded food review channels, and I was like, this is crazy. So I was like, well, I'll do it then. I make videos, I'll get in the food reviewing game. I've always liked my food, try it out. And so at first I think I did a couple, like I did that one video, I did a couple of videos every couple of weeks or something, maybe one every month. It wasn't very big at all. It was it started very small. And then actually my main channel, which was at the time it was Resourceman, got deleted. And I had thought, because Food Review was linked, I thought it was just lost in the ether. And then when I came back to YouTube probably a few months later, several months later, I realised that I could relink Food Review to my new channel, and so I had regained access to it, and it re-spurred my passion for doing it. And so ever since then, sort of the schedule's obviously gone through the roof, and so has our popularity. So that's how the channel started. And then the last question is from Reed. What is your routine for eating airline food? Weird question. I would say that you're somewhat... I will basically speak around this subject, because I'm not sure exactly how to answer your question. I would argue that the routine of eating airline food is quite sort of set out for you. It's not particularly changeable. You get your snack. Typically, I think every flight I've been on, probably the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 flights, I've got a little bag of Pennsylvania State pretzels, sour cream and chive. Not my bag, so I literally never have them. You get a drink. I sometimes have an alcoholic drink. I'll sometimes have like a JD and Coke. Sometimes won't. It's not a guaranteed thing by any means. Then I'll have the main meal. I will usually eat just I eat any meal really, a bit of everything. So if you have got a bread roll there, but you've got a hot meal as well, I'll have a bit of everything and just eat it all gradually. And of course save the dessert for last. Yeah, mental question to be honest, Reed. What's your routine for eating airline food? Don't really know what you mean. What is that? I don't know what that is. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for your support as well. Let us know if you've got more questions and we'll film another one real soon. Cheers.